Welcome to Village Church Connections. I'm David Pavey. Some time ago, NBC TV showed a film entitled Mercy Mission, a documentary of a dramatic event that had taken place in the sky. The film detailed the emotional, true story of a pilot who embarked on a 4-day trip from San Francisco to New Zealand in a single-engine Cessna, only to face a major problem. One day, after 14 straight hours of flying, Jay Prochnow, the Cessna pilot, radioed an SOS message explaining that he had lost the use of some of his critical navigational equipment, and so he had no idea of his whereabouts. Moreover, he was running out of fuel, and daylight was waning. The likelihood of a rescue was remote, the more so as a storm with heavy cloud cover prevented a search and rescue team from finding the lost aviator. Eventually, the Cessna pilot became tired of playing hide-and-seek with the clouds as he strained to find New Zealand. He pulled on his life jacket and prepared to ditch the plane in the cold waters of the Pacific. But there was an Air New Zealand DC-10 in the area over the South Pacific at the time, also heading for Auckland. The senior pilot on the DC-10, Gordon Vetty, heard the SOS message and realized that he had become the Cessna's only hope. Against his crew's objections, Gordon convinced his passengers that they must divert their flight plan to find the lone and seemingly hopeless Cessna, a proverbial needle in a haystack, and then guide it to safety. Maintaining radio contact with the lost plane that he couldn't find, the DC-10 pilot refused to allow the Cessna pilot to give up. Persistently and with the tone of a seeking father, he encouraged, cajoled, and bargained the lost pilot to keep on flying, keep on flying. Suddenly, there it was, the beleaguered Cessna, limping along just above the waves. The lost was found. The two pilots renewed contact, and the Cessna followed the DC-10's lights to a safe landing at rain-swept Auckland Airport. Think of the pilot of the Cessna as representing people whom the Bible describes as lost people all over the world, who have no navigational signals to help them find God and eternal safety. Many have disregarded or discarded God's compass, the Bible. They are unable to navigate this world, flying along but not finding their hoped-for destination. Some are ready to quit by diving into the ocean that we call eternity. Some people try unsuccessfully to make sense of this life while suspecting that this life is not all there is. They dabble in this religion or that philosophy. They seek meaning in science and in the occult and in reason and who knows what else all the time, failing to accept that Jesus, who calls us to follow him, is the way, the truth, and the life, that nobody comes to God the Father by any other means or agent. The Apostle Peter also preached that there is no other name under heaven given to mankind by which we must be saved. The DC-10 pilot serves as a picture of Jesus, who said he came to seek and to save those lost people. The Gospel of Luke devotes a whole chapter to Jesus seeking lost people using parables, stories about a lost sheep, a lost coin, and a lost son. And the irony in those stories is that Jesus was pointing out that many of the Pharisees, the smug religious hypocrites, were lost, but didn't know it. One can be lost in the world or lost in the church, while appearing to jump through all the right hoops, apparently. We see Jesus seeking lost people like the outcast woman of Samaria, like the corrupt tax collector Zacchaeus, and like Mary Magdalene, out of whom Jesus cast 7 demons. He called his followers to seek the lost in Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and to the ends of the earth. Like the DC-10 pilot, we're to go out of our way to lead lost people to safety through faith in Jesus, the Messiah. He invites us to rescue people while we can, so they won't ditch without him into eternity. Christians, we have our work cut out. And thank you for tuning in to Village Church Connections.